Now, Sunrisers Hyderabad, the former champions, they've got another conundrum or another rule that they need to make sure they check, which is the restriction when it comes to foreign players that you can retain, which is up to two. So they have David Warner as a foreign captain, and they bought Rashid Khan for big money, and he was very good last season. Bhuvaneshwar Kumar is worth all the money in the world right now, you think. So regardless of what your strategy, you would want to retain Bhuvi. But if you retain Warner and Rashid, that leaves you all your other overseas players on which Sunrisers have relied in the auction.
Yes, but once again, it will come down to the money that you have in-house to spend or at the auction table. Do you believe that if Rashid Khan and David Warner are absolutely essential to your plans, no matter what the price point, then is it better just to make sure that they are in-house rather than have a situation where at the auction price for someone, say Rashid Khan, goes up beyond the 7 crore limit. So if that is their thinking, they might just keep it. What about the RT and
Let's look at them right away, Gaurav, because I think a lot of fans would want to know whether Yuvraj Singh features on this. And I think the consensus throughout those that are thinking about putting the permutations and combinations out is that Yuvraj should go back into the auction. Mohammad Siraj is someone they could look to match depending on the price he finally goes for. He's also a capped player now. That changes the equation so slightly. Shikhar Dhawan, you might also be surprised that he was in a retention. But again, the question is, do you think Shikhar Dhawan will go for 7 crore or 11 crore or not? And the guess is that maybe Sunrisers can just match him and get him back for lesser. Vijay Shankar, also one of their players that they would rely on. Put them all together, you will not see Yuvraj Singh. You don't see Deepak Hooda in that either. So we'll have to, this is the think tank, so you may, please feel free to disagree with it. Again, we're just trying to speculate entirely, but that's what we think Hyderabad might go with. Royal Challengers Bangalore, can they lift the hoodoo of never having won the IPL? Now they've got the superstar players, and they've often got the superstar players that have misfired. Who are the depreciating assets? Maybe our list will help you out a little. I think they'll retain Virat Kohli. I'm not sure.
You think?
AB de Villiers as well. Don't even give anyone a chance to get Virat Kohli. Virat Kohli is worth 100 times that amount in marketability alone.
Well, also, you know, it's a franchise he's been part of from the very beginning. So he's part of the DNA of the franchise, not because of his performances that RCB have never won. He had a couple of miracle IPLs. I mean, and the 2016 one, he was scoring hundreds for fun. So, you know, keep him in-house, keep de Villiers
in-house. They love each other.
Yes, simple. And, you know, obviously, I don't think that there will be a spot for Chris Gayle because
so let's go straight to that.
Right to match options for them.
Now, he's not even in the right to match options as per our analysis, simply because, again, the age factor, the depreciating asset factor, the fact that he didn't quite get the runs last time. There was a case to even play Travis Head ahead of him, and you've got Yuzvendra Chahal, who's been key to their success. KL Rahul, Virat Kohli, we know fancies and also wants as part of his team. Missed out on injury last time. Young Sarfaraz Khan, who also lost out in the 11. So will they look at getting any of these guys for, say, a bargain price? We're not sure of Mitchell Stark just yet. We don't know what the scene is with him and RCB, but that could be someone that they could factor.
But I think Chahal will be invaluable to RCB because he had a very good season in the middle of ruins in 2017.
I don't rule out Chahal being one of the retentions at 7 crore.
Yeah, he could be. And also KL Rahul's stock continues to rise, and he is a Bangalore boy, and that always is helpful in you know, when you're rebuilding a team. So I think, you know, once again, in terms of pure T20 talent, there is ability there in that is worth considering for these options to retain or to match their price.
All right, will Bangalore welcome KL Rahul back? We don't know. The IPL though will welcome Chennai Super Kings and Rajasthan Royals back. Different rules for the two franchises that have served a 2-year suspension, and that is that they can pick and choose from the players that were part of their squad in 2015 and who were part of either RPS or Gujarat Lions in 2017. Effectively, it's a smaller pool to pick from, but you've got to play the hand you're dealt. MS Dhoni, Suresh Raina, and I'm interested to see that Ravindra Jadeja is what our analysts feel will be the way to go ahead of someone like R. Ashwin or even Brendan McCullum.
Yes, also because remember Ashwin missed the last IPL. He has a decent IPL record but not an exceptional one. And if once they pick up these 3 guys, then you've got 3 senior India players in the house who are used to being CSK players. So I suspect that these 3, you can almost write it in, and they'll all be at the price point that you will ultimately have to,
they'd all probably go for more than 15, 12 and 7 or 11 and 7 crore respectively. Dwayne Bravo, you might ask, where does he feature in all this? Again, a player that missed a lot of the last IPL to injury. He's right there alongside Brendan McCullum. Whether they pick both, whether they pick one, we'll have to just wait and see. But those two
I think
look like...
Brendan McCullum, Ronak, will be a form decision because he plays only T20. He calls himself a T20 mercenary. He plays only T20 cricket around the world. And if closer to the IPL auction, he's showing good form, Big Bash, etc., then I think they'll feel tempted.
Let's put them together, and this will be a delight for any CSK fan because they love the continuity. They love those three and what they've done for Chennai in their good days. Brendan McCullum and Dwayne Bravo. Well, if you put those five together, that's already a great core. Because whatever you might feel about Raina or Dhoni in the IPL, they are still superstar value. Now, while it's pretty simple to think or straightforward that Chennai would go with these guys, for Rajasthan, it's not quite as straightforward. Also, a franchise coming back has the same rules as Chennai to adhere to. And we believe retentions and RTMs. We can't be sure that Steven Smith and Rahane would be even retained, given you're effectively saying that these guys are then valued at 15 or 11
Yeah,
crore.
I think the price point will be the issue, Ronak. I don't know if franchises think that Steve Smith is worth 15 crores in fees. You know, perhaps there will be a line of thinking that this is a guy who is value, but he can be bought at the auction in the 5-6 crore range. I would think that would be the thinking. And Ajinkya Rahane similarly, whether franchises will look at him as a player who can be purchased for a lower price point than what it will cost you to retain them. That's why I think our analysts believe that perhaps the RTM will be a better option. If the price goes to say 4 or 5 crores for Ajinkya Rahane, you certainly believe that that's a good price to have him back in the campaign. Remember, both of them, Ronak, were part of that Pune team that reached the final.
So close to even winning it. And we also have to wonder whether a team wants to pick a captain or have a leader in mind, and maybe that could play into Smith or Rahane's hands if either players looked at as a possible leader. We didn't see R. Ashwin on either the retention list or the RTM list. He could be up for as a possible captain choice for one of the franchises. We know that he's loved to.
And like we said, we are throwing a few balls in the air here.
That's it.
Please
In fact, all of them.
Please come back with your own thoughts and